What's up, E.D.G family? Kevin here. Today I'm going to be doing something I do not normally do, and I'm going to make a quick promise that this is not going to be something that is going to be common on this channel. I am not going to be a crowdfunding preview platform content YouTube channel. That's not what I'm going to do. But I will talk about games that I am 100% interested in, and I do plan on bringing to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about Andromeda's Edge by Cardboard Alchemy. This is a game that just launched at the time of this video maybe 7 to 8 hours ago on Gamefound. And we are going to do a quick little preview. I'm going to talk about why I'm back in this game and maybe why you should be interested in this game. Alright, so we got the Gamefound page pulled up. First thing you're going to notice is this thing has funded. This thing actually funded in just over 8 minutes. That isn't crazy. You can see it's still ticking up. I would fully expect this game to easily pass the $1 million mark, and also probably, I mean, maybe about $1.5 million. We got about 3,200 backers on it, and I believe like 22,000 people had this campaign pre-saved. If you don't know anything about this campaign so far, this game is kind of I'm going to throw a couple different terms out here. A re-implementation, a spiritual sequel, successor to Dwellings of Everdell. Yeah, it's very similar, and we'll kind of talk about that as we go. But first, I kind of want to go over this campaign page, and you know, obviously, I am backing this game, and we'll talk about what exactly pledge level I will be backing at as we go. There's a great little 2-minute video trailer on YouTube for this. Man, that thing just keeps ticking up. 558. Yeah, I'd expect this thing probably hits 1 million probably by at least my time, midnight. We'll see. 22 days left. But great little trailer. Definitely shows off some really cool stuff. And we'll go down to here. Okay, so first things you're going to want to know is this game is a 1 to 5 player. It's going to play about two hours. It's 14 plus. This is going to have worker placement mechanics. There's a lot of asymmetric factions involved. There's going to be some resource management. There is going to be some combat, some area control, and obviously 1 to 5, it does have a solo mode. This game is also designed by Luke and Maximus Lori, and art is by Sergio Chavez, I believe is how that's pronounced. And he is, Luke Lori, I believe, is also obviously the main designer on Dwellings. And so we got this great, fantastic art. Very cool. It says, "Seek the edge, behold Andromeda's edge." I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is a worker placement game in which workers have upgradable starships. The game board features a modular hexagonal map displaying regions of space with worker placement actions and sites for development. Your player board is customizable space stations that allow you to build massive tableau engines by attaching various types of modules. Each player controls a unique faction with subtly different ways to play the game. I'm going to tell you right now, I have watched a playthrough on that. I will leave the playthrough. I believe it's like 4 months ago was when that content dropped for that, and it's not really referenced. I don't think it's referenced on here, but I'm gonna put it in the description. I think it's on Quackalib's channel. Board Game Co. and Professor Meg were involved in that, and it's a lot of the exposure I have to this game came from that video. I will say that it is, like I said, this has been in development for a while. 4 months ago is when that playthrough was. Okay, so yeah, we got worker placement, tableau engine building, asymmetrical factions, area control, dice battles, hand management, everything we know. It says 40 minutes per player. I don't know how that's necessarily going to be on solo, but we'll see. And then we get this great shot of the box. This is the Deluxe box. And the first thing you're going to kind of notice is there's just a lot of components. You got this main game board. You got these off to the left and right, you got these cool looking game trays. We got miniatures, we got, you know, tokens, we got another really fantastic looking game trays. And we'll get there. We'll talk more about the game trays here in a little bit. And yeah, just cards. If you see like about dead center right now, that's gonna be your like tableau building. The playthrough I saw had just some really cool combos, and we'll talk about that more as we get a little bit further into this page. But yeah, this is basically kind of just gonna be your overview of what is included. I will say this is based more towards your deluxe pledge. Tim Chun, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but he has some fantastic coverage for this game. I'm also going to link him in below. He's got a video on this page. Everything he generally does looks beautiful. He does a lot of really good photography, shoots for, I think his Instagram's very well ran. It just looks really, really artsy for, if you're looking for beautiful board game photos and videos. He does a really good job. Quackalope, yep, he has a little bit of a representation on here, and we'll go back to this Dwellings and Andromeda's Edge kind of conversation as we get further down this page. All right, we got a little bit of a promotion for Gamefound, and then we're gonna get into these components. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is these starships. These starships are gonna be included in your standard edition and your deluxe edition. So that is one thing as far as component wise that will be the same. And it looks like we have 4 asymmetrical ships that do completely different things. I'm not going to try to teach you how to play this game. I might touch on the mechanics a little bit, but like I said, there's a good playthrough. I think there's a couple playthroughs out there. But yeah, so all the ship miniatures will be included in all game editions. They just won't have antimatter thrusters. Alright, so we're going to go into this. So this is the first thing you're going to notice that only says Deluxe Editions, and this is going to be these development minis. These are like structures you're basically going to build on different spots on that, what do they say? It was the modular board at the bottom of it. So very cool GIF. I like that. I think those little additions excuse me, are going to be like, I think they're leaders is what they say. Don't quote me on that. I'm not really exactly sure where I picked that up on, but there's definitely been some conversation around that. And those are also going to kind of sit on top of that ship that goes down. There's a similar mechanic, I believe, in Dwellings, as far as, I think it's like a, kind of like a hat thing or something that goes on one of your meeples. I have not played Dwellings. I have seen some content on Dwellings. And then yeah, so we got like 5 different. We got Observatory, the city, the obelisk, the spaceports, and then the factory. So yeah, 5 different. What do they call those? Developments. Yeah, developments. Okay, so and those are all miniatures that will come in the deluxe edition of the game. This next part is, for me, was the biggest decider on where to pledge. The game trays is involved in this, and they are involved in the deluxe edition, and they generally do a fantastic job, and there's nothing short on here. They did a fantastic job here. So what you're seeing here is this crazy cool command carrier, and this just looks like it's one of those things that you're just going to pull out of the box and you're going to set it on the table. And I don't know as far as the cards and the tokens how well they'll stay in there, but the fact that the minis are just going to come out with it, it just looks like, you know, one of those components that just makes it so much easier to table the game. And I'm pretty sure pretty much every game trays insert for this game is designed that way. So we got that guy, and then we got these, and there'll be 5 of these cargo hold players. Now look at this. This is like super cool. You're looking at 2 game trays. I think when I first looked at this, and only like I was like, oh, we got one right in the middle, you know, and you can put your components and everything in there. But it's not. It's 2 different game trays. You obviously have your ships coming out, your dice are under there, and if you didn't have that game trays, it gives you kind of your spots where you would put that stuff. But fantastic, very good, very good. And then, yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's got like little spots for resources. Looks, like I said, really good job. Very decisive as far as what pledge level for me where to back. And then we got the fields module, which kind of looks like maybe just kind of like a market. I believe these are setting up by those tracks, and they are color coordinated with that track. I believe you'll basically pull one of those out when you hit a specific level, and you'll kind of bring everything down. Like I said, almost kind of like a market, but yes, fantastic addition to the game. I did watch the Thinker Themer video for this, and they did a really good comparison of Dwellings and Andromeda's Edge, and they kind of did a seven things that Andromeda's Edge is better. Great video. If you definitely want to check that out, if something you're interested in. I am going to touch on it a little bit towards the end of the video, but I just wanted to mention that it was some good content. So this is going to kind of tell us our mechanics. So launch a ship is basically going to be like your worker mechanic. You're going to assign a ship to a location, region, you're going to activate it, and then generally in most worker placement games, you're going to get a benefit, and that's why you went to that location. And then you may have to battle. I mean, there's going to be some combat in here, and it's all going to be dice combat. And it's not even going to just be combat with other players. There's actually going to be, and I think there was kind of something similar in Dwellings. There's going to be another, kind of like an AI-controlled opponent, and I believe they're called Raiders, and I'll double-check that as we go down. And they're going to have presence on the board too, so you may have to combat them too. And then afterwards, after you send all your ships out and you've done your actions, instead of just doing a simple pullback turn, you will be returning your ships to your station and like a recall action, and that's when you're going to be activating all these crazy tableau abilities, building combos, spending energy, and just having these incredible turns. And to me, that's one thing about this game that is really exciting. I really enjoy that when it comes to games, you know, making one turn just seem like it was 7 turns, you know what I mean? And so then we're going to have a little like why back now, and this basically just going to tell you that not all this stuff is going to be available in the retail. It'll may be harder to find. You're going to get different pricing on this. The biggest deal is they're going to have some social goals, which I don't think are going to come alive for a couple days. We'll look at that as we go down. But basically these social goals are going to unlock, you know, new content, and then it's going to all be bundled, I believe, in like this escalation expansion that they're valuing at $29 retail value. So you are going to get that for free just for backing on Gamefound. And then, yeah, it's one of those things saying, hey, you know, this is going to be one of the best games that's coming out, and, well, we'll get to that. Then we also have a little thing that's going to be talking about, you know, there'll be a follow gift, a newsletter gift if you sign up for their newsletter, and then there's some puzzles that are on here for you to figure out, and they're going to give you a couple different I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now, different options if you complete these puzzles, and we'll get to, they'll talk about there. This is one right here. So this is a miniature that is not going to be available in the game, but you can add it on later. But all you have to do is go in and solve one of their puzzles, and you will get this included. I think it looks fantastic. It's a Raider mini or standee, depending on which version you get, and we will talk about that as we go. And then these are the two promos for the newsletter, and then also for following the campaign before. So I know you can add them on in the pledge manager, or I think you can just add them on right when you get into the campaign. But if you follow the campaign or you subscribe to the newsletter, you should get those. And then we get a couple more good things to say about the game from the Hungry Gamer and Man vs. Meeple. I did check their video out, and them to say that this is the best game he ever designed, well, that is saying something. All right, so we're going to get down to the rewards. And basically, the first one they're pledging is an all-in Deluxe plus add-ons. So this is very simple. Very simple put. You're going to get the Deluxe game, and then you're going to get every add-on that you could add on to this game. You're going to get all of that, and we'll look at those add-ons. And then you're also going to get priority shipping. So that's basically what you're going to be paying. And I'm not going to spoil the... it's $60 more than the Deluxe to get, like I said, all the add-ons. It's already been pledged 2,496 times. So it's a very popular pledge. at that point it's like, what's the point in priority shipping if, you know, everybody's doing that? You're gonna get the same anyways. And then below that we have a retail offer. So, you know, if you're a game store, it looks like 65 times pledge for that. And I believe just $50 gets you into the pledge manager, and I think you get it all figured out from there. You also get priority shipping. And then we get into the standard edition. So the standard edition is $69 US. And basically you are getting your base game, which will have the ship miniatures, but then you're going to have standees for your raiders, you're going to have standees for your development. Most of your tokens are just going to be regular cardboard, I believe, tokens. Punch outs, I believe there's coins, which will also not be deluxeified. But you will get the $30, the $29 expansion with it, all the stretch goals. And honestly, it's a pledge 118 times, so it's not a very popular pledge, but if, you know, even if you were, if you're interested in this game, you don't really know what to pledge, that's not a bad option. Just to go ahead and pledge the standard edition. You could always upgrade it later in the pledge manager. And then we have the deluxe edition, which, like I said, is about $60 less than your all-in, and you're getting the deluxe game with the game trays, with the extra miniatures for the raiders, with the extra miniatures for the development. You're getting metal coins, I believe, and we'll open this up. There's more info right here. We'll come back up to it. And it's been pledged 376 times, and that's crazy. I mean, we'll get to the add-ons. I'll show you kind of what the add-ons are adding to that all-in pledge. There's our add-ons right there. So you're gonna get, I assume you're gonna get all your miniatures washed. So you're basically gonna get that like extra gray black depth. I do think they look sharp. I think they look great. And then you have a module expansion pack. I believe this is just adding, I think I looked it up. It's adding 48 additional module cards. So, you know, if you're playing this a lot with full player count, maybe something you're interested in. I'm kind of interested in it too, just because it does add gameplay. And then you're gonna get these wooden upgraded tokens that are probably just cardboard in the deluxe version. 51 wooden, yep, and 29 wooden discovery tokens. So yeah, you're basically just getting some deluxeified tokens, and that's $20 if you add it on. So if you take all of these right now, if you want all three of these, you might as well go all in. This is where it starts to get a little, I don't know, for me, where I'm like, I don't really need that stuff. There are card sleeves. I generally wait until I get the game to get card sleeves. A couple times that's burned me, but generally if it's standard card sleeves, you're not doing a lot of shuffling, I'm not really too concerned about it. This isn't exactly a deck builder. Yes, this is a great game, and like I said, I'll buy my own sleeves for it later. And then those additional factions you can add on for $5. That Raider is $10. And then we're looking at a Moon Art drink coaster, and a set of 5 neoprene dice trays and jumbo marbled Raider dice. I'm assuming you are getting dice for the Raiders. I don't know if they'll be that kind of cool marbling. Those do look great. They kind of look a lot like the box cover. But as far as the neoprene dice trays, I mean, that's one of those things that when you get to all in, I don't need that. It doesn't add to gameplay. I have enough dice trays. I have a neoprene dice tray and my Too Many Bones trove chest box. So it's just something I don't really think I need as far as an add-on. And then we got to the social goals. This is what I'm talking about. So this isn't going to open up for a week after the campaign, which is smart because then you're going to get a lot of like late boost. Everybody's sharing stuff as far as across social media. I assume that's what most of these are going to be. But it looks like, we got all these unlocked checkpoints. And we're going to be adding new regions, new component upgrades. That'll be interesting to see. New factions, new gameplay, and new tactic cards. So with this, I believe this is basically going to be your $29 expansion add-on. It's quite a bit of little content to add on. And then the puzzles we're talking about. So I believe there's 9 puzzles. If you solve any of them, just doing the first one, and I'll give you a hint, it is kind of just basically a word scramble. You figure it out, you add on your ancient brain, and that's great. That's why I did it. But if you solve all 9 of them, it basically enters you in for a drawing for the Deluxe All-In pledge. And that'll take you to the pledges. We got more, we got Dice Tower, Not a Cylon, more endorsements for this game. And then it's going to talk about all the different factions, which probably aren't going to mean a whole lot to you. They don't mean a whole lot to me just because I've never played this game. I know how it's played a little bit, but not necessarily enough to be able to, read all this stuff and go, ooh, yeah, that's cool. But, they all do look good. The artwork is generally good all the way across the board, even on this part. This campaign is well put together, so good job there. But yeah, so we got a lot of different factions, and for me, that's gonna add so much playability, so much variety. And then when we get below this, so yeah, 6 factions in the main game, 2 unlocked expansion factions, 2 unlocked promo factions. I don't know if that 2 unlocked expansion factions is already done or that's part of the social stretch goals. But 10, I mean, it's pretty good. And from what I've heard from previewers, there is a lot of asymmetry. So these are going to play different enough. And then we got the Raiders. So these are the guys that, like I said, you're going to basically kind of be dealing with these as they're deployed out on the map, taking spots that you may want to go to, making you fight them. And they look great. Like I said, you get standees if you just back the standard. You got to get deluxe to get these miniatures, and also I don't think these are the washed ones, so keep that in mind. There's not a whole lot of, I mean, this, he kind of looks like he has a little bit of a wash to him, but I doubt these are the washed ones. And then we have Unity, which is a solo mode. It's going to give you 3 different levels of difficulty, and I assume they're all going to play a little different. These symbols obviously are all over cards and stuff. So I mean, just looking at the top left symbol on that one, and then going down here and looking at the top left symbol on that one, they are different. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as I know, there's at least 3. We will have to see what there may be more. It's hard to say. Yeah, that's level 3. That's level 2. They don't show level 1, but very, very cool. And also, if you're somebody that likes to get on Tabletop Simulator and check out some of these games, it is available to try. An easier way to learn the rules, and then all of these are basically going to be preview endorsements. And I will link a couple of the ones that I've seen that made a big difference to me when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. But that is pretty much the page, I believe. We're getting down to the bottom. Oh, shipping. For continental US, not really too bad. Shipping differences between the pledges really aren't that big of a deal. I'm assuming you get into other regions, it gets a little crazy. But even if you're looking at like local shipping, when this game's done in China, that's pretty reasonable. 12, 15, 18. So just looking at like a $10 hike up for continental US from there. So nothing to really complain about. I think we've seen a lot worse shipping situations on different games. I'm not saying they're not going to go up, but I'm saying that that's what they're quoting right now. It's not too bad. And then below that, you're basically going to get a little bit of a, I don't know, kind of a little introduction to a lot of the development team behind this game. So very cool. And then, yeah, basically your risk reward challenges. But I'm going to scroll back up, and I want to show off, I'm going to open up this Deluxe pledge. Because I will say, as of right now, I am backed in at Deluxe. I'm a part of that semi-minority at 300 and I think it was 26. And I'll explain kind of why at this point I'm like that. Like I said, not really interested in these neoprene dice trays, or dice trays. But I will probably consider this miniature wash. I don't know if I'll do it, but it's definitely something on my mind. That's obviously something on my mind too. So we're talking $40. We're talking about a $40 up instead of a $60. So at that point, it's just kind of figuring out if that extra 20 is worth it. But here's what we're gonna look at this Deluxe Edition pledge, because that expansion is included in this. If you were to click on the standard, it would actually show the expansion underneath it. But this is everything you're getting in there. So you're getting these game trays. Starships like everything else, and that's another thing to think about. When you get the wash, that doesn't just affect you like your deluxe opponents. That's all the way across the board. That does include all 45 of those ships. So that's really going to make them pop. And then, yeah, you got your 8 different factions. I'm just trying to see what really to highlight this. You got your 15 development miniatures. You got your raiders. Where are those at? Ship upgrade tiles, moon tokens, raider dice, raider miniatures. So that's 8 of those. You're getting 20 metal coins and alliance credits. So yeah, if we're looking at what your big jump from getting, just your base to your deluxe, we're talking all those game trays, which to me, huge point. And then you're getting those 8 raider miniatures, and you're getting, 15 development miniatures. So that's those alone, I mean, for me, kind of justify that bump up. And then, like I said, you got some metal coins and stuff. But yeah. So what's really got me excited about this game is I don't have a ton of worker placement games. I feel like I have really good ones. They all do something different. This will add to that kind of variety for me. That recall action is really cool with having different mechanics involved. I do like science fiction games. I do like area control. I don't have too many area control games, so that is another thing. And then just this tableau building, this card comboing system. If you're looking at this game, I'm gonna say the closest game I have in my collection, because I haven't played Dwellings. I don't own Dwellings. Is maybe Gaia Project. I don't know if you can kind of see some similarities there. Obviously, we don't have as much. We have a lot more interaction in this game. You actually have combat. You're having dice rolling. But just as far as the tracks go, the combo systems go, very, just like I said, I think it's the closest game in my collection that I have is probably Gaia Project. And like I said, also kind of got that sci-fi theme. You got a lot of asymmetry there. Like I said, you got these tracks you're racing up. You're getting victory points on the outside of the board. There is this really cool thing. I didn't really touch on it here. If you watch one of the playthroughs or any of the guys talking about this game in further depth, we're talking about like an event deck that triggers as kind of a track keeps elapsing on this board. So you're gonna have different events to kind of mess with. I think that's a cool addition to this game. But as far as comparing this to Dwellings, there's a lot of, the worker placement, there's a lot of similarities. Obviously, Dwellings is going to be more fantasy. This is more science fiction. You're still going to get a very deluxe game on regardless of what you get. But I'll tell you right now, I looked at getting Dwellings a couple months ago, and it is not easy to get for a reasonable price. I did hear that they are going to do a reprint. A lot of people ask if it was going to be part of this, but the actual the designers are obviously involved in both games, but the actual companies behind them are not the same. So you're not going to be able to back Dwellings, get an extra copy like Pledge Manager situation when you back Andromeda's Edge. But at the same point, I don't know if you'd really want to. A lot of people do say that they would keep both of them. I don't know if that's from hey, I've already played, a ton of Dwellings. Yes, this game is basically a revamped, refined, there's definitely some differences. Definitely some differences in the play. Obviously, we're talking, other than that, theme is huge. It's different. I do know that the asymmetry definitely is a lot heavier on Andromeda's Edge. So, and there's just, it's a little bit, I'm going to say that it's a little bit more complex than Dwellings is. It may be a lot more complex than Dwellings, but like I said, I haven't played this. I'm going completely off of what the previewers that are involved in this game have said. So yeah, I don't know if you necessarily want both games. In one of those situations where if you're good with Dwellings is good, but maybe this brings more of a theme to you, then maybe, you might back this and then maybe think about, getting rid of Dwellings after you get this and play it. I don't know. I would love to play Dwellings before they show up, but like I said, it's just not an easy game to get a hold of right now. So, this is pretty much going to wrap it up for me. Like I said, I'm not getting a habit of doing too many of these previews, but I did want to do this one. But let me know what you think. If this is something you're interested in backing, what level do you think... I mean, everybody's going all in. Maybe I'll go all in. I'm not really sure. But, yeah, let me know. I say I'm not going to do another one, but I'm probably going to have another one of these next week. If you follow any kind of crowdfunding, it probably is not going to be that hard to find out what what I'm going to be talking about next week. But yeah, let me know. I'm super excited about this one. I don't know if I actually said anything about it. It is on there. This game doesn't fulfill until, well, hopefully, June 2024. So we got about a 16-month wait for this game, but that's Andromeda's Edge, Cardboard Alchemy, currently on Gamefound. I'm going to guess it's probably easily going to eclipse $1 million, probably headed towards 1.5, but we'll see. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for checking out my video on E.D.G Game, and I will see all of you guys on the next one. Much love.